Well, I think Mikhail Khodorkovsky has been very unjustly imprisoned by the Russian authorities. Not only that, they keep bringing up new charges, and the conduct of justice, the lack of really an independent judiciary, I think all points to the fact that this is a man who has not offended against the people of Russia. I would say quite the contrary. He is a political prisoner. I think anybody who has studied this situation knows that, and as a political prisoner it's time he was released, and I think the Russian authorities do themselves no credit by continuing to keep him imprisoned. I think in terms of Russia's relationship with the world, they should recognise that there's deep suspicion about freedom of speech, about political development and political space within Russia, and I think it would demonstrate that they are big enough and confident enough to be able to release people who are not critics. It should not be effectively a one-party state or a one-point-of-view state. And I think therefore Russia would gain a great deal of status if they were to pursue a policy of recognising that people who are critical of the regime have a right to their freedom of expression, shouldn't expect to be imprisoned on trumped-up charges. And let's be clear, the Khodorkovsky case is high profile, but it's not the only case in which Russian justice is under question internationally. Well, I do. I've never had the opportunity to meet Mikhail Khodorkovsky, but I have a huge admiration for what he's done, because he, after all, could have left Russia at any time. He's chosen to stay because he cares about the country, and I think he's conducted himself with huge dignity. 10 years in prison for an offence that doesn't exist is a great deal of suffering. To arrive at your 50th birthday when you have family outside, I think is also a painful situation. I think he's brave. I think he's principled. I think his commitment is clearly to Russia and the people of Russia, and I commend him for that. I wish him well, and I hope that his friends working together will ultimately persuade the Russian authorities that Russia will be a much better place if it is grown up enough and dignified enough to release people like Khodorkovsky and particularly Mikhail himself.